Another day, another chance, another way, another dance. Today I'll be discussing to you all about you know stuff that I need to go over, and that's pretty much stuff that I need to go over, which is lesson 27 and lesson 27. We're pretty much gonna be going over the right our applications or APIs. That's what we're gonna be going over. Is our APIs. Right, so you get program Node.js, PDF. Right, so Unit 6 building API. So what you're doing is you're going to be building an API. So we're going to be pretty much adding an API to our application. And before I pretty much touch base on what I'm going to be going over, which accessing our APIs from our applications, I have something. I have an announcement. I'll be introducing my navigator. His name is Savas, and yeah, I'll be going over what I need to go over today. So accessing our APIs from your our application. So in this lesson, you change the way that you access JSON formatted data by adding an API namespace. Then you modify your Ajax function to allow users to join courses directly from a module. Last, you create the action to link users and courses through a new route. This lesson covers creating an API namespace, building a UI module to fetch data synchronously, connecting models with MongoDB methods, applying an API namespace. I discussed namespacing in lesson 6. So now you're going to implement a namespace, for API endpoints that return JSON data, perform actions asynchronously. So when something says synchronous, that means you know what once a process is being loaded at the background, you're able to make changes at the same time. So you're able to work on something once changes are being made in the background. So two things are happening at once, right? The process that are happening or not depend on each other in real time, allowing for independent operation delayed responses. Right, so that's what it does. So adding a route to show all courses in API routes.js. So const variable router require express router courses controller require controllers courses controller rather than get course controller dot index, right, so on and so forth. Yeah. So that's pretty much what we have. So adding JSON responses for courses and courses controller.js. Respond JSON, parameters. Then you got res.json status ht status.ok, res.locals error.json, if statement, res.json error.object. Then modifying Ajax call in the recipe app.js. So this is our API for courses, right? And then our API for courses. Let me check if my stream's running. Okay. And then the API for courses, and then got a div span class, course title, course title, then div class, course description. So as you can see, as you can see here for our courses, come on. We got culinary. So this is what we're going over, here, right? So span class, course dot title span, div, model body, so on and so forth. Culinary, making cakes, bright, shizunyama, cake design, so on and so forth. Join close, right? And then what else we've got is, join course via module. Then adding a button to join a course in recipe app.js. Then button class join button.id course.id underscore id. Then join button. Adding button with target class join button to join a course. And then yeah, that's pretty much what you've got there. And event listeners to each button in recipe app.js. Choose our event listeners, APIs, button class, div class, add joint button listener, let variable add joint button listener, so on and so forth. And then yeah, a join if statement if else, so if we got current user defined current user at that set, then we've got pretty much gonna have our catch, we're gonna return error, then we're just gonna return our next. Right, you're pretty much gonna go to our next it's pretty much our next event listener, right? And then you got that join, and then yeah, you pretty much got filter courses in course control.js. So this pretty much filters our course, so if statement, if, mapped courses raised at locals, and then, return, so on and so forth. And then, yeah, then we got our buttons. So it's pretty much, going over our latest courses. That's what's going over, right? Right, so email address, test user, right? Okay, test user. I mean, then obviously I have to do my password, Tozy at 73. Okay, come on, log in, please log in. Come on, please log in, come on. And don't time out again like last time. Don't time out, server. Okay, come on, server. Just load already. Just load, man. The reason why I unshared is because, it's just sapping a lot of time, off of what I'm doing. Right, so, okay, I logged in now. So I'll show you just now, show you my flash. So logged in as test user. So logged in. So logged in as test user. Come on. Right, you can see my screen now.
Yeah, no, I can see it.
No problem. So as you can see, you got a flash. So flash is semi-permanent indicator that that pretty much appears with the relationship between our user and our app. You know, it's pretty much like a get response from like the relationship to our user and our app. So that's what it is. So logged in as test user, logged in, go to our latest courses, and as you can see, already joined. You know, already joined. You know, the latest courses, culinary, frying, ushisanyama, cake design, lemon meringue, smoking meat, and then making cakes. Then you can press close. So that's pretty much what you need to deduce from all of this. And then right in the network, right, bootstrap.css, recipe underscore app.css, and then you got latest courses, you know. So our courses, as you can see, we're making use of like APIs. Our APIs has been processed. So it was pending for our status and now it's 304. So it was pending, then we got our users, then we got our CSS, right? And then we got a fantastic, app called Fantastic, or fonts.gstatic, jQuery min.js, recipe app.css, bootstrap, yada yada yada. And then you got contact, you know what I mean? Graphic.png, bootstrap.css, graphic.png, recipe app.js, bootstrap min.js, jQuery min.js, cooking courses, cooking courses, and then you got home. Oh, I'm actually going over. I'm actually going overboard. I just meant to go over like my latest courses. That's pretty much what you need to like go over. And then for our that's pretty much what we need to go over. Then for lesson 27, main.js, what that goes over is our variables, strict, mongoose, noodle